Kusasangpola, today I'm meeting a very special guest. She is Kanni Wignaraja, who is UN's Assistant Secretary General Assistant Administrator, and she's also the Regional Director Bureau for Asia and the Pacific of UNDP. Let's go and meet her today.
How are you?
So nice to meet you.
You too. You too.
How are you?
Very good.
How is Bhutan treating you?
Oh, so well.
Right.
Always.
So I wanted to interview you regarding
Yes.
the electric vehicle.
Yes.
But I thought it would be nicer to actually take a spin around the town.
I think that's a
in
great
electric
idea.
car.
I'm all yours.
We have one car waiting for you.
Yes.
Do you mind to join me?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
All right.
Let's come.
Okay.
And this is our driver.
How are you?
So
Yes.
he's the owner of this electric
Okay.
car. So.
Yeah.
So how was your trip so far in Bhutan?
You know, I've come back every 10 years, and every 10 years it is amazing what I see.
Right.
The changes, I mean, some can be challenging,
Right.
you know, but overall to see a country moving forward.
Right.
And I think now, I mean, look at where we are. We are in an EV vehicle.
Exactly.
The first time I came to Bhutan,
Right.
Thimphu had just one road
So that was 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
Right.
Now I'm riding along in Thimphu in an EV vehicle.
Right.
Can you believe this?
I know, it's such a drastic change, isn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
wonderful, right?
It is absolutely.
Right. So back then, when you visited Bhutan, there wasn't any single EV vehicle at all. How does it feel to see EV vehicle in Bhutan?
I think it's I hope Bhutan can show the world
Right.
that this is possible.
Right.
You know, it is not an easy transition. The transport sector, to change it is not easy.
Exactly.
But I think this is going to be a demonstration
Right.
to the world. So
Yes.
I'm so proud to be seeing and being in an EV vehicle.
Right.
Not just talking about it.
Bless.
So yes, you're very right. I think this is the right path.
Right. So for your record, in Bhutan currently we have about 150 EV taxis, including this one.
Yeah.
And we also have several EV charging stations. So do you think, because now the world is talking so much about embracing EV vehicles and low emission vehicles, right? Do you think EV vehicle is the future?
I definitely think so. I think we have to break this habit of fossil fuel dependency.
Right.
And it's bad for our economy, it's bad for our health, it's bad for nature.
Right.
So I can't see that there is a way out for the transport sector
Yes.
other than going into renewables.
Right.
So to me, the electric vehicle is, and not just cars, public transport as well.
Right.
This is essential.
Right.
Because in most countries,
Yes.
it's people take public transport,
Agreed,
right?
agreed.
So trains, buses,
Yes.
absolutely critical.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It is
Wow.
the way of the future.
Agreed. Talking of electric vehicle, like in the world, we are actually encouraged to drive this actually to contribute towards climatic action, right? So, what do you think about climate change?
Oh my! Well, it's for a country like Bhutan,
Right.
that is not causing the problem,
Right.
but it is feeling the negative effects, right? And so there is an injustice there.
Yes.
However, what I find is such a amazing attitude among the leadership, young people I've talked to.
Yes.
They see themselves not only as protecting Bhutan, but protecting the world.
Right.
And so that sense of being a global citizen, while you can also be a local citizen,
Right.
is powerful. You don't find it all over the world.
Agreed.
And one should never take it for granted. This is why finding space for young people to be more in control of being climate activists.
Right.
And choosing paths that maybe their parents and grandparents didn't have the opportunity to choose.
Right.
So the greener opportunities, the greener jobs.
Yes.
I think this generation is going to change things. and not destroy
Right.
like we did in the past.
But I think now we really are left with no choice but to really walk the talk. Like I, as a travel blogger, within my capacity, I really try to bring in stories, what's like actually happening at the mountains, and I tell the stories to people. And now, also for your information, I reference Bhutanese young people. They are very outspoken. They are very confident in what they say and what they feel. So, like in general, people are now really taking charge of our planet, so that's good news. So talking of which, I know I'm super jealous that you have been to Lunana. I mean, I'm an avid trekker, but I have not been to Lunana, but you just flew there. What was the first thing that came in your mind or that struck your mind the moment you saw that lake?
You know, the whole landscape.
Yes.
I mean, it is just breathtaking.
Yes.
And yet you know that behind this, it is a beauty that is hard to explain.
Yes.
At the same time, right behind that is fragility. And this sense of being completely in awe
Yes.
of the splendor,
Yes.
and at the same time being fearful of what is going on.
Right.
Because we're seeing, you know, you could see the tree lines have receded, right? The glaciers, my goodness, I mean, I had the wonderful opportunity to speak, to be with the glacier specialist.
right.
Karma was with us. Beautiful, his ability to see the historical,
Right.
the questions, the
Right.
change. But it's how much has gotten lost just in the last 10 years is unbelievable, no?
Right.
Then you see these lakes. So the first thing you think is, oh, what a beautiful lake.
Right.
Then you realize it's the melting glaciers that are causing these lakes.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
And then the destruction in 94.
Right.
So UNDP is doing a lot to mitigate that,
Yes,
you know? I
yes.
mean, we're trying to dig these lakes deeper, no?
Exactly. And
But
Bhutan actually succeeded.
It has succeeded. It is an amazing feat.
Right.
300 people out there
That's
at that altitude with shovels,
exactly.
right? Because you
Right.
can't take machines up there.
Agreed.
But at the same time, when you ask the people of Lunana
Yes.
what is their immediate issue,
Right.
they always say, we need to have light.
Oh.
And so solar
Yes.
is going to be a life-changing.
Oh, this is very inspiring. Even when I did one video about stories from the mountain, I met this Highlander, very old lady. The only thing she wanted, I just asked her, if given the choice, what do you need? She was like, the solar light. Because she said so many wild animals are coming to her farm, attacking. Yeah, so
Yes.
solar light would actually curb her problem.
Yes.
So that's very relatable. So having heard what people are in need of, especially from the mountains, do you already have that second step in mind from UNDP's initiative where, oh, maybe we should do this? I'm aware that UNDP has supported so many great solar powers in country, but do you also have some other things in your mind, love?
Well, this is it's more difficult, right?
Yes.
Because it's off-grid.
Agreed.
But we are discussing, we'll discuss with partners also,
Yes.
how to support some of these more remote communities.
Yes.
Right? And this beautiful movie, A Yak in the Classroom.
Oh, yes.
Lovely,
Yes.
and just motivated. But I hope people watching that don't just watch it as a lovely artistic movie, which it is.
Agreed.
But that they also think through what it means for communities living in the highlands,
Right.
with very little, and how the world has to come together to
Right.
support communities like Lunana.
Right.
So I think we're going to be seeing how on the energy transition issue,
Right.
on human development issues,
Yes.
how to improve livelihoods,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
All of these things together.
Yes.
But fundamentally, at the end of the day, it's about giving young people a sense that there's a future in their country.
And hope too.
And hope. And if they do go out,
Yes.
that they will cherish coming back.
Right. They will have reason to come back.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's very inspiring. I think this is the highlight of this talk, where you would really like to see young people come back to country because they have reason to come back.
Exactly.
Right? So I really don't want to bog you down with so many difficult official questions. So this is my personal question that I've been longing to ask you.
Okay.
You're a global leader. And let me remind you, many women around the world actually admire you. Yesterday, I met some foreigners and I told them I'm having an interview with Kanni. They were like, oh my God, is she in country? So women admire you for your leadership, for your dynamism. And if I asked you to give an advice to any woman like me, or a girl, young girl with big dreams, what would that be? Any advice to conquer the world just like you?
You know, I don't think I've conquered the world. I think I've always had amazing people to look up to
Bless.
and learn from. And sometimes you find them in the most unusual places, right? So I think when we should always be watching, and I've had amazing women mentors,
Bless.
and I think we should give back. So I find if I can help other women
Bless.
to also find their way, just be a sounding board,
Bless.
you know, that's one. The second is to have a quiet confidence. Sometimes the world is in some places don't give a chance to women to feel they can be fully in control of their
Bless.
choices.
Bless.
And we can. So I think that is another important thing.
Bless.
And then to be a role model. And that doesn't mean you have to be at the top of your profession.
Okay.
It means you have to have empathy. You have to be kind.
Bless.
Right? You have to. I mean, for me, if I think about it, I am my support system comes from family.
Bless.
I've got these two amazing daughters, an amazing husband,
Bless.
parents who told me I can be anything I want to be,
Wow, right.
and never judged.
Bless. Bless.
And I think if I can do that in turn,
Bless.
and each of us can do that for each other, I think then the rest comes.
Wow, that's very humbling and very inspiring. Well, thank you so much for your time
No,
and
not
for
at
your advice. I know it has been a really hectic time for you in Bhutan. You have been visiting so many places, meeting so many people. That itself shows that you really want to connect to Bhutan through so many means. Thank you so much
Not
once
at
again
all.
for your time, and exclusively for this session. It means
No, it's a pleasure.
world to me, La, and I wish you luck.
Thank
from
you,
here
and to
on.
you.
And I look forward
And to
meeting
you. Yes, keep inspiring with your blogs.